One of the number one killers of fat loss that I'm currently going through is called a behavioral plateau. Now, this is something where it's not like a traditional plateau where you're doing all the right things, like you're eating less, you're moving a bit more, you're getting good sleep, you're monitoring your stress, but the scale is not moving, where your metabolism is kind of stuck. But a behavioral plateau is something where your time and energy and attention has been taken hostage and you're split between all kinds of different areas and you kick yourself out of doing the right thing because you're just sick and tired of the process, or life doesn't align in a way that was good for weight loss or fat loss to happen. So what happened yesterday was I went to the dentist and I got some cavities filled, right? And that's just a part of life. You eat a lot of junk food and you get a lot of sugar in you and you just mess up your teeth because of that. And thus, I thought, okay, I'll try to eat a little bit before and do that. Normally I fast, but I didn't this time. And I thought to myself, okay, after it's done, I'll wait for my teeth to get numb and I'll just fast until dinner. That didn't happen either. I ended up having one of my pre-made meals and some cheese sticks and a little bit of pumpkin bread because it's in the house and I'm going to eat it, right? That's a consequence of living with family, I suppose. And so I thought to myself, okay, now later, for sure, I'll just have a smoothie. But no. And then after the smoothie, I decided to have something again. So that was 4 times yesterday, where a lot of decisions can be prompted when you start doing something in the morning and they just lead to decisions you didn't think you would make later. Right? It's a plateau behavior where you were doing the right thing, you start to not do it, if that makes sense. And it just kind of cascades over and over. Like one decision can cascade into several decisions you didn't plan on, which can kick you out of a deficit. And that's something I think a lot of people struggle with. But I think a good way to get this under wraps is to simply not give yourself a lot of expectations and a lot of pressure, okay? Because what happens if we put too much pressure and expectation on doing things perfectly and optimally is that creates grief when we fail, okay? And failure is, yes, important. It helps you learn, but it's also one of those things where it can really just hinder your progress for the long term because we chase a lot of short-term gains and a lot of short-term wins. And that's just kind of a tough thing to expect yourself to consistently do when you're trying to lose fat because it's more of a long-term game. It's a process of becoming. It's a practice, okay? It's better when you have a system, and I do have a system. But like I said, sometimes life is going to come at you. You're going to do something that is unexpected, so it's good to reorient your expectations. Okay, so yesterday, I didn't exactly do that. I thought to myself, well, I'll just do this, I'll do that, and it didn't end up happening. So what do? Well, okay, you try to think of the next best promise that you can keep. That's how you're going to build trust over time. It's how you're going to build those votes that you can regain confidence, that you can trust that you can maintain a deficit going forward. And it all just comes down to that momentum that you can build in the mornings. So if you're new here, this is day 10, actually, of my fat loss progress. I think I've messed up the little counter on the way I've been making videos because I do like progress updates week by week and also daily. But essentially, I'm back up to 163 today, and the plan for Saturday, today, and Sunday and Monday is to actually go ahead and do some OMADs and try to get the metabolism kicked up and running. Not necessarily doing keto. It may end up doing that. Just depends on what I eat. But I have a lot of foods already at the ready that are very keto-centric so that I can get some ketones producing and maybe kickstart the metabolism again to be in that fat burning stage so that fat oxidation can happen. Okay. And thus, yeah, that's the plan. And then after about 3 days of doing that, I'll probably just go back to doing like 2 meals a day, maybe 1 every now and then, maybe doing 3 if I'm really feeling it. Because what can happen too is that your body, it just picks up on a lot of default patterns. Like the passenger in me wants to not be in a deficit, right? But the driver has to maintain that consistency through just having less decisions to make and just having a system set up so that all I have to do is show up, right? And yeah, that's kind of it. So I'll talk more about the behavioral plateau in the future. If you're new here, be sure to stick around. I'm detailing my whole fat loss progress, going from 167 to maybe 147, maybe a bit lower. I'm not really sure yet. I'm just kind of seeing how the body looks and how I feel about it. And just making sure I don't get too low, right? But I'm sitting at I was at about 18.5% body fat, looking to get down to about 13, right? So nothing drastic, nothing like I'm going on a show, okay? Like I'm just an average guy that's just trying to look better and explaining my whole insight and process on doing that. And yeah, that's all I got for this one. Bye.